Hello, Mudishani, Jambo. Welcome to my channel once again, and thank you so much for those that have already subscribed. For those that have not yet subscribed, I would like to request you if you could subscribe, like, and share my channel. So today I'm just basically going to review my stay in Kenya, which I'm almost clocking a year, and I just feel I probably need to share some of my experiences, the good and the bad, just so I could encourage other people that may probably be in the same predicament as I am, or that will have an opportunity to go and live in a foreign country, and just know some of the things that you may probably encounter. I'm not saying you're obviously going to encounter exactly what I have encountered. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of Zambians that are also living in Kenya, and we obviously all have different experiences. So I'm just basically going to tell you my personal experiences, as I shall be clocking a year next month, which is August, of staying in Kenya. So please journey with me. My name is Mama Zambewe, and welcome to my channel. I would appreciate if you could give me comments in the comment section, just so I know if there are other people that have been going through what I have been through, and just trying to encourage other people that may also have an opportunity to go and live in a foreign country, and just know how you can try as much as possible to adjust your life. So yeah, here we go. My number one challenge has been language barrier. So if you are like me, who really takes a long time to get to learn a new language, you're gonna have a tough time when you move to Kenya, because in Kenya the official language is Kiswahili, which I know is from the Bantu speaking people, and I've also noticed that there are quite a number of words that they use in Kiswahili that are quite similar with my language back home, which is Bemba. So you can get to understand one or two words, but it's not, I don't think it's as easy to get to learn Kiswahili. But yeah, I'm slowly having those baby steps. Well, that's one of my biggest challenges, I think, the language barrier, because you get to go to some places and you're trying to communicate with somebody, but they can't speak English because their official language is Kiswahili. So people have grown up speaking Kiswahili, and there's some people in certain areas that just can't speak English. So it's a big struggle. You have that communication breakdown, and yeah, it's very difficult. So yeah, if you're thinking of maybe relocating to Kenya, you need to probably start learning how to speak Kiswahili, especially that it's going to be an official language, I think, across Africa, as it was passed in at the AU. So yeah, eventually we're all going to have to learn how to speak Kiswahili. But yeah, at least I'm slowly having baby steps. I can greet somebody, habari yako, and I'll respond nzuri sana. So you're getting there. So yeah, but otherwise language barrier has been one of the challenges that I have faced, because it's not easy for me to learn a new language. So challenge is loneliness. Hey, this one can depress you if you're not careful. Like I'm with my family, of course, and my family are always there, they're always supportive, but I remain home because I'm now a stay-home mom. So I remain home, my husband goes for work, the kids go to school, and so I basically spend most of the day alone at home. You're now in a new country where you don't know anyone and you don't have any friends. You're probably, I should say, the only friend you have when your family is not around is that you're going to be on WhatsApp, you're going to be on social media. So life kind of gets lonely. And I think for me it was really lonely in the beginning, especially that I think I've spent like the last 10-11 years of my life working, and my work was hectic. Like I literally had my life at the office. I didn't have I would say I didn't really have a social life because I spent most of my time in the office. So now that I'm having this time where I'm just staying home, uh, yeah, bonding with my family, of course, but when my family is not with me and I'm alone at home, it really feels lonely. However, there are certain things that you just need to up your game for you to ensure that you don't feel depressed, because it can actually make you get depressed. So for me, one of the things that I am trying as much as possible is to network around. So, being a journalist by profession, I've been trying to network with fellow journalists. Being a communications personnel, I've been trying to network. And yeah, if you also have these professional associations or organizations, I would encourage somebody who moves to a foreign country to ensure that you try as much as possible to join those associations, because I think that can help you not particularly to look for another job, but just for you to network and to mingle and make new friends. And yeah, at least as I shall be clocking a year, I'm grateful that I have made a number of Kenyan friends and sisters who are very good people. Yeah, they have welcomed me and they have helped me understand and know what Kenya is all about. So yeah, that is my second one, loneliness. Number 3 challenge is social life. So what do I mean exactly by social life? So I'm not too sure if you're so familiar with Zambia and Zambians. That is one thing I really love about my people, is that we are so friendly. We are so friendly. We are so accommodative that I think we try and make people feel comfortable as much as possible. But that's something I beg to be maybe made to understand. But I think that is something I have noticed is not much in Kenya, in that yeah, they are, of course I can't say everybody is not friendly. There are friendly people, but generally I think Kenyans are not as friendly people. They maybe they care for each other as Kenyans, but when you're a foreigner, I think they don't really they don't easily befriend you. They don't easily befriend you. So it's quite difficult to try and integrate as a foreigner and as a new person when you're in Kenya. Even like I'll give an example of the 2 apartments that I've lived in so far. The first apartment that we're living in, I will actually tell you that we stayed there for I think about 9 months, and I never got to see my right opposite neighbor. And these are apartments, like my Zambian people, you understand, the flats. Now the person who is staying right opposite your door, the door that's right opposite your door, you've never gotten to see them. That is, I think, unlikely in Zambia, because for us, even like when neighbors notice that there's a new person, they even sometimes just come to knock on your door and just to say hi and introduce themselves, that they're your neighbors. Yeah, even if you stay in, like in Zambia we have the plots, you stay in those plots, you have your own space and whatever, people still take time to go and just familiarize yourselves with your new neighbor and whatnot. But I think that's not the case here. So my friend, if you're Zambian and you come to Kenya and you're that kind that loves knocking on people's doors, trying to chat and whatever, it doesn't work like that here. Number 4. Hey, number 4 is, wow, I think this one is the biggest challenge of staying out of the country. I don't even know how to put it, but yeah, I'm gonna summarize it as finances. This is the biggest challenge that I have faced. Why? Well, you know, in African context, I think it's just generally in African context, um, when you're not living in your home country and you go and live in a foreign country, there's always this assumption that this person has now gone to make, well, I don't know if we assume this person is now manufacturing the dollars, so they have a lot of money. That's why they probably left the country to go and work elsewhere. But my people, I'd love to tell you that that is not the case. You know, life in a foreign country is very tough. And worse off, I think if I'm to compare Zambia and Kenya, Kenya is a more developed country. And I think I would say things are quite more pricey in Kenya than they are in Zambia. So therefore, for instance, even if like, you know, you move to Kenya and you're probably getting more money than what you were getting back home. But when you look at the cost of living in Kenya, it almost boils down to how you were living back home. Yeah, basically that, how you are living back home, because you probably have more money, but the cost of living here is higher. So you're still getting to spend more than you are probably supposed to be saving, or as everybody's assuming that you have a lot of money, but you know, you just don't want to share. Yeah. So some of the things I'm going to pinpoint that are quite pricey if I compare to Zambia is accommodation. Because like Kenya, mostly accommodation are apartments. These are what we call flats in my country. We call them flats. So mostly you find yourselves living in apartments, or there are some areas where you can live in townhouses and the like. But mainly in Zambia, most of the houses, I should say, probably even more than 3/4 of the houses that have been built in Zambia, I don't know what you can call them, maybe like townhouses, kind of, where each one has their own yard. So there's only one house in a yard. You don't have to, we have very few of apartments or flats, as we call them in Zambia. So if I'm to compare that with Kenya, and specifically in Nairobi, which I know is more pricey because it's the capital. So in Zambia, I will pick, let's say you are living in a 2-bedroom house which has a sitting room, and it has a dining room, and it has a kitchen, and all these rooms I'm talking about are big rooms, like really big, spacious enough. And you have, that's your own house, you have your own house in your own yard, or the spacious yard. You would probably find and in an area that is how can I call it, that is not densely, that is not highly populated. So yeah, you find that houses are normally ranging around that's like a 2-bedroom house. They would normally be ranging around 3,000 Zambian kwacha to 4,000 Zambian kwacha, depending on the area. Actually, I should say maybe ranging from 2,500 kwacha to about 4,000 kwacha, depending on the area and how the house is looking and whatnot. But if I'm to compare that with specifically Nairobi, and the few times I've done the house search and whatnot, hey, you get to find that a 2-bedroom house with, well, not as spacious as it would be back home, because I think our houses are quite spacious, but not as spacious, but it's, you know, it's okay. And you probably find it only has a sitting room, or one big room where you have to divide the sitting room and the dining area. So yeah, and then you have the 2 bedrooms. Normally it's going to cost you like that is 90,000. Yeah, okay, maybe I should say it starts from 80,000 shillings, which I could roughly say could be about I think 12, yeah, could be about 12,000 kwacha per month. That is for a 2-bedroomed apartment. An apartment I'm talking about here is a flat. So there are all these discrepancies that are there in terms of cost of living, and that is just cost of living. So you have also other responsibilities that you need to do. So however, the African culture is not going to understand all that. They're always just think you're just not helping as much as you should. Yeah, but yeah, that's been a challenge. Finances has been the biggest challenge that I have faced. In number 5 challenge, this has been my sleep pattern. I was actually told because Kenya is closer to the equator, or is it somehow I don't know geography that much, but yeah, it is closer to the equator. So from the time I moved here, I've been having challenges with my sleep, and I was told, no, like you need to adapt. Your body needs to adapt to the new environment, and all this geography. And I'm like, okay, because back home I would be in bed by 8 p.m., 9 p.m. I would be in bed. But when you come here, hey, it's been a whole different cycle. I would only be able to have my proper nap when it is 12 a.m. or past 12 a.m. So my husband is always like, but this is like close to a year and you're still not adapting to a proper sleeping pattern. But yeah, I equally don't know. But that's one of the challenges that I have. And my number 6 challenge. Oh, this one. Hey, close to my heart. It's security. So I'm a very security conscious person. And from the time I relocated from Zambia to here, I guess my security consciousness was even increased because of everything I have heard and read about Kenya and its security. So, as Zambians, we are quite a very peaceful country. I know we have 1 or 2 cases of violence, but which are not as bad as I would compare them with Kenya. So coming from that peaceful environment and moving to Nairobi, where the environment is quite different, it's not as violent as maybe it could be portrayed, but yes, the security here is something somebody really needs to treasure. So why am I saying so? I'm gonna give an incident that happened to me not too long ago. I guess it was a welcome to Nairobi. I've read so much about kidnapping instances, shootings and whatnot in Nairobi, and it just makes me be on my toes when it comes to security. So this party, I used to live at a certain apartment which had very good security, such that when I'm at home, I'm always at peace, like I know everything is okay. Yeah. So this particular day was a weekend, and I ordered some food online. So I actually went to collect my food outside the gate. So just when I got outside the gate, I am approached by a plainclothes officer who just comes and says, yeah, you're under arrest. So I'm like, oh, okay, what for? So, initially I'm thinking somebody is joking because I've never encountered anything like this. And then the guy just gets serious and jumps off the border, and yeah, just gets a little bit nasty for me. Terrifying, and hey, terrible experience I had. Yeah, so the officer had to check my food delivery, searched all the food or whatnot. Yeah, it took like, I think, about maybe 10 minutes or so of that particular horrifying incident. And yeah, that's one of that was my terrible experience. And I just said, wow, this is Nairobi. I don't think anybody would face such an incident in Zambia, where even at your own residence, like, yeah, just at your gate, and a police officer comes to harass you, I should say. Yeah, because I think that was emotional harassment. I was traumatized. So I don't think you would experience such a thing in Zambia. So this is where you come to really appreciate how peaceful my country can be when I start comparing with how things are here. Yeah, so anyway, that was one of my security instances that you have to ensure that when you are here, you always need to be security conscious, because there's so many killings, there's so many kidnapping cases, and especially with foreigners, there's so much trafficking. Yeah, so security just needs to be on the top of your agenda at each and every particular moment that you are doing something. My number 7 challenge is the parking and the driving in Nairobi. Oh my god, you wouldn't enjoy driving here, because firstly, I think people don't really observe the traffic rules, so there's just all this chaos on the road. And secondly, oh my god, the roads, the lanes, the parking slots, they feel so tiny. I don't know, maybe because I'm just so used to our lanes in Zambia. I think they are quite bigger, they are spacious. When you come to Kenya, I think it should be countrywide, because I think the few places I've been to apart from Nairobi, they all have tiny parking slots. Like, it just has to accommodate your car and a small space for you to open your door and come out, unlike the parking spaces that we have in Zambia, which are quite more spacious. So yeah, and hey, driving on Nairobi roads is crazy. Apart from the traffic, just the recklessness on the road it's something you wouldn't really enjoy being on the road. But yeah, that's my other challenge. And now that I've talked about the challenges, I'm also going to talk about the good side of living in a foreign country. So top of my list is the fact that you get to be more exposed. You get to learn new cultures, you get to learn new things that you probably never knew. Like, in Bemba, in my country, Zambia, and in Bemba, there's a proverb that says, "Umwana shenda atasha ninoko naye." So, you may think what you have in Zambia is like the best, but when you get to see what other people have and what other people are doing, then you will get to know that, okay, so maybe making ugali is not supposed to be, or is not only supposed to be made the Zambian way, where you first need to make your porridge and let the porridge, or is it the porridge or the paste, you let it boil a bit, and then you now have to cook the ugali, or the shima as we call it in Zambia. You will get to learn that when you come to Kenya, they they cook the ugali in a different way. They actually, in Zambia we call that way the nkungume way, where you just let the water boil and you start cooking the ugali or the nshima right away. So yeah, you get more exposed. You have a wider scope and a wider understanding of how other people live their lives. You get to learn new cultures. Yeah, because I think I've also noticed we have quite a different culture with in Kenya. In that Kenya, I think, well, in my opinion, I feel Kenya is kind of more westernized than Zambia, because there are just certain things that I see happening here, and I'm just like, wow, okay, yeah. So I think even the issue of LGBT, I think it's kind of, I'm not too sure if it's constitutionally right, but I think in Kenya that is something that has been accepted, because you get to move around and you get to see lesbians around, you get to see gay people around and whatnot, which in my country Zambia is constitutionally not acceptable. So therefore, even people that are that have that are, what's the right term, that are lesbians and that are practicing gayism normally cannot come out in the open, because it's constitutionally not acceptable. Yeah. And I think on the cultural part as well, one thing that has puzzled me also is the fact that in Kenya you get to see young girls and older ladies as well, young girls as young as even maybe 12, 13. You get to see them moving around, like somebody's wearing a crop top, and they also wear those waist beads. I'm pretty sure my Zambian people know what I'm talking about. So, they wear those waist beads as fashion, so they'll just wear it on top of their bottom, just so, I mean, it's exposed, like you can see it, because I think my assumption is that they wear it as a jewelry, just like my jewelry. So it's like that's how they wear the waist beads as jewelry. But when you come to Zambia, when you dress like that, hey, my Zambian old women are gonna look at you, and I'm pretty sure they will probably even ask you to put it inside your clothing, because I think generally in Zambia, waist beads are supposed, I'm using the word supposed, waist beads are supposed to be worn by married women, and they're mainly worn by married women and for their husbands. So they are something that is sacred, and they're not supposed to be exposed. I hope you're getting my word, supposed and not supposed to be exposed to the public. So it's kind of like a taboo, I think, to have to expose your waist beads in public. But in Kenya, that's different. So those are some of the differences that we have in terms of culture. But you get to learn that when you're in this particular area, you need to do this, you need to do that, and whatnot. So yeah, basically you get more exposed about certain things in life, and it's a good thing. Yeah. So my number 2 is family bonding. This close to 1 year, I should say, has taught me so much about family. And by family right now, I'm talking about how do I put it, my nuclear family. Yeah, that is myself, my husband, and the children. So this particular time has given me personally a time to get to bond and to get to know each other better than before. Why? Also because I think there's no family close, so it's only us, it's just our circle. That's me, my husband, and the children. So in almost everything that we do, we always work in this circle. We're always in this circle, so we have gotten to get to know each other better, know how we can treat each other better. And yeah, I think the bond has really, really grown than it were before the relocation. And my number four is going to be thinking outside the box. So you are in a country that is not your country of origin, and you want to start life afresh, you want to make it, you want to succeed. You need to ensure that you think outside the box. In my conclusion, I would summarize it that Kenyan people are honest people, and I love the way they just trust people so easily. Yeah, so this has basically been they've been my experiences ever since I moved to Nairobi. I would like to say a big thank you to everybody that has already subscribed. If you have not, please subscribe, like, and share.